Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio back at you today for another episode of I Saw It on Pinterest. And today we are going to be attempting this tag by Magdalena's Attic. And her website is magdalenasatic.com. And the name of the tag is Not All Who Wander Are Lost. And I love the steampunk vibe of this tag. And so I'm going to attempt to make my version of it and see what we can come up with. Her website, okay, it is in English. I was checking to make sure that it was in English, and it is. So let's get started. Of course, I normally just look at the picture anyway, but sometimes these are not in English and it's kind of hard to figure out what they did, but we're going to attempt it and we're going to see what we can come up with. So I've already cut my pieces to try to kind of save some time, and so hopefully you won't get too bored. I've got this white sheet of paper down. I've had to turn my overhead light on today on my camera because it's cloudy outside and I'm not getting enough natural light. But when I do, there's a big glare on the glass. And so I've put down this white piece of paper, hopefully to cut down on that a little bit. So the first thing that I did, and what I am using are some scrap pieces of Stamperia paper, and this piece you can see was actually the cover, and I'm using the back side, and because this is going to be glued down on probably a journal cover, I didn't worry about covering the back. So basically I just cut a tag shape, and I went with 3.5 inches by 7 inches because I wanted it to be substantial because I am going to use it on a cover. Now, as far as this butterfly looks like that it is cut out of the paper, and she does mention the paper she uses. It's called Mechanical Fantasy, which is also by Stamperia. The set that I'm using, I believe, is called Clockwise. So, we're both using Stamperia paper, just different kinds. So this is going to be my base. And the butterfly, like I said, I think hers is cut out of the paper or is a piece of ephemera in the paper. I, in my stash, had this butterfly, which I have been wanting to use, so it works out perfectly. It is actually a metal piece, but it's really light. It's really thin. And I got this at Joann's a while back, and I think it's from that, oh, what's her name? I've got Hildy and Joe, I think, is the name of the artist that created these. But it's over in the jewelry section in Joann's. And so this, to me, is a perfect opportunity to use this to simulate this butterfly. So that's what I'm going to use. And then I've cut out some, other tag shapes and stuff. So we're going to get started here and see if we can't get it layered up. Now, you can see in hers that she had these little pipe-shaped pieces, which I assume are some of the ephemera pieces that come with the kit. And I didn't have anything like that. And so what I did is I cut out some frame pieces, and I'm going to cut those up and kind of use those to create the background that I need to layer up on. Okay, so the first thing is to get those back pieces. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm having problems here deciding where I need to start. And like I said, I just cut some pieces out to kind of simulate what she had. And then we're going to put them all together and hope that we can come up with something similar. So, obviously, I can't cut my butterfly off because it's metal, where she kind of set hers to the side and cut the wings off down the side. So we won't do that part. All right. And then I've got this big metal gear that is going to go, it's actually in the bottom layer. And I'll use some dots or some foam tape or something to build these layers up as we go along, once I figure out where everything's going to go. So I hope everybody is having a good day. Everything is going well. Like I said, it's kind of rainy and drizzly here today, but it is supposed to get better after a while, so hopefully. Yesterday was absolutely gorgeous here. I don't think that one's got it long enough, because it needs to be there, so it needs to have a longer piece. Let's try this one. Okay, I think that will work there. And then we need at the top, we need a piece that is going to go, let's try this one, off the side like that. And then we need a piece that's going to go, I may have to cut some of these shorter once I figure out where they're all going. There. And then I need two pieces to go down here. So I need one piece that goes kind of like that. And then I need one piece that goes kind of like that. All right, and then I have this piece of book page because I kind of think that my background needs to be broken up just a little bit, or this tag, it may go on this tag. And then I've got a couple other little pieces that I'm going to add just to, in my eyes, make it more symmetrical. But basically, that's the layout, I believe, that we're going to end up with. So, now to get all this glued down in the places that it needs to go. That's the ticket. Okay, I'm going to make a little pencil mark. That's not a pencil, Tammy. And I'm going to cut the bottom of this off because obviously I don't need that whole thing. All right, so let's begin this and see if we can get it down. These little pipe things that are pipes in hers are the first things that go down because they are on the bottom layer. So we'll get those down first. I just love doing these Pinterest things. I don't know why. I think people have the greatest ideas, and I just love trying to recreate some of their ideas. And I hope it doesn't offend people, because it's really not to be made to be offensive at all. You know, it's, in my opinion, a compliment when somebody wants to copy your work or do what you did. Not copy it, you know, to make money or anything, but, you know, copy it to, because they really enjoy what you've done, which in my case is the deal. Okay, so there are those pieces. Now, I think the next thing that needs to go down is our gear. So if we have this about there, and we have our butterfly there, and we have our card here, here. Okay, about right there for the gear. So I'm going to draw a little circle, and I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue just to make sure that this goes down. You can also use Tim Holtz, his decoupage, his collage medium will also hold metal. For those of you that aren't aware of that, it actually holds it really well. Okay, so there's that, and then the next piece that's going to go down is this. It needs to be about right there. We'll need to put some foam tape on that so that we can build it up to be, you know, what this gear, at the level that the gear is. So let me grab that. Sorry for my reach here. All right, so I don't need it. And like I said, something like this, you know, unless you just make room for it ahead of time, you know, you think about it ahead of time, this is probably more suitable for something that's going to be displayed, you know, on its own or on a cover rather than inside a journal, because it is going to be quite bulky by the time that we're finished with it. Okay, and I think I'm going to ink around this and rough it up a little bit before I put it down. And I'm just using walnut stain. And actually, what I wish I had done to save myself some time is roughed up the edges before I did that. That would have made more sense. And this is just Tim Holtz little paper distresser. You can do the same thing with the edge of your scissors, and sometimes you can do it with just with your fingernail by going around the paper. This is a little bit thicker paper, so paper distresser works really well. I just kind of want to beat it up a little bit. I might even wrinkle it up a little bit. Because who likes perfect, right? We are going for a little bit of grunge here. Okay, so now let's see if we can fight with this foam tape and get the backs off. This has been the worst roll for the backs not wanting to come off. I don't know if it was just a manufacturer deal. It's actually working pretty well. I'll say that and I'll get to this last one. I won't be able to get it off. There we go. Okay. So this is going to go about right there. Okay, so there's that level. The next level is going to be this little square card, and it is going to go about right here. And again, we'll have to use foam tape, you know, on here and here so that we can get it nice and even all the way across. And let's just dress this piece up. You can see this does a really good job of making a nice rough edge. I did round the corners on my pieces, but it's, you know, not a requirement. If you prefer it to have torn edges or square edges, you know, that's totally up to you. It's what makes us all different. You do you. Okay. And this has brick on it, so I think it goes this way, or should go this way. All right, so we want the tape here and here. And you can see this has this really cool chain on the back of it. Do I like that? Do I like that better? See, you should never turn your paper over when you're doing a project, because this is what happens when you do. No, I think I still like the brick. Okay, so we're going to go here, here, and here. Goodness gracious. Yep. See, this one's going to be persnickety now, because I talked about it. All right, so this needs to go right there. And I should have put my glue on before I did that, but I didn't. Okay, so there's that level. Oh, I should have, no, don't stick. Okay, I forgot to put my other little pieces on here. That was close. Okay, so we're going to have this one here. Oops. Okay, and then we've got to have this one. Okay, what have I done? This one, like this. So I don't need that. Sorry, just trying to make sure we get it where we need it. Okay, so it needs to go about right there. Don't move on me. All right, so now we can do the tag. And again, I'm going to rough it up. And I do think I'm going to put just a little bit of book page on here. No. Like that. And then we're going to need our foam tape on this top edge from about right here. And I just made a little, oh, like I'm going to be able to see it, but I just made a little pencil mark. I am going to fill in this part completely solid because it's going to be holding that butterfly. Alright, let's check that now. I think it needs one more piece going across the other way. Yep, that feels pretty solid. Alright, so let's get that stuck down. If I can get this one off, see, this one's going to be stubborn. We're on the last one. So it's going to give me a hard time. It's just in certain spots. So I'm thinking that it's a slight flaw in the manufacturing that has caused this backer to not want to come off. Because it's like it's trying to peel more than just the backer off. Still works fine once you get it off, but it's just doesn't want to let go in some spots. Such are the struggles, right? Yes, 3 days later, we're still trying to peel the back off the sticky tape. I have to do a part 2 video just because I can't get the backer off. It's crazy. Got that one little piece left. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Now it's all stuck to my fingers. All right, so get that down, and then we'll put glue on the bottom side. Make sure it's nice and glued down. Okay, so see, you can see that it's already got a pretty good thickness, and we don't even have our butterfly on there yet. So like I said, this is probably more suited for, uh-oh, I didn't put that in the right place. Can I get it off? Probably not. Not without destroying everything. Okay, do you see what I did? I left that short, and so our little pipe does not go all the way across. It's my butterfly. Oh, my butterfly is going to cover that, I think. Okay, we're good. Never mind. We won't fret it. Actually, my butterfly needs to be down further, so it will. Okay, we're going to take a little piece of this, and we're going to just fix that, because that's what happens sometimes, right? There we go. All right, so then our butterfly needs to go about right there, I think. I have a little bit more of the gear showing than in the original, but I'm okay with that. All right, so I am going to use a number rather than a letter because I prefer numbers. So let's just dress this up a little bit. That's going to go right here. Now, if I wanted to, I could have put foam tape on that too and raised it up, but I think it's okay flat. I think we're going to be all right with that being flat. Now, I felt like this part was kind of plain, and so I am going to add this little license plate here. I think about right there, just to add a little bit more interest to this area, because I just felt like that was, and I could do it kind of hanging off the edge like that, but then you can't see the little pipey things. So maybe about right there. And I'm not gonna do foam tape under that. I think I have enough to catch everything. So let's do that about here. And then I also have this little guy that I'm going to put here, I think. Or I may do... No, I think I'm going to put it there. And then I wanted to include this little paper clip just because it's another metal piece. And I think I'm going to be able to clip it. Let's see, I've got metal there. I want it down here at the bottom somewhere. I think I'm going to clip it right on the edge of this license plate. Or I could do it right there. No, I want it down here. I know, make up my mind, right? Get that on there before it glues down. Okay. Clean up my mess here a little bit. So now we have the butterfly and we have our quote, which I have the exact same one. Not all who wander are lost. But I'm going to put mine in a little bit different position than what she has hers, for no other reason than I think it would look better there. And that's just my personal opinion. It doesn't have anything to do with what she did. Just the way my tag has come out, I feel like that's more balanced. She has hers, you know, something like this, which is still fine. But I don't want to cut my number, I don't think. I could do it here. Actually, I may do it there. Yep. That's where I'm going to do it. And then, again, I'm going to take the 3-in-1 glue and glue down our butterfly. So glad I'm getting to use this. I bought it because I loved it, and I was like, looking at it in my stash all the time, and I was like, oh, I really need to use that. Okay, and I have this little key and gear that is from, or cog, that is from Amy with Crafty Cat. She has them available in her shop. If she does not have them readily available, if you'll send her a message, I'm sure she will cut you some. She does them on her Glowforge. I think that's what it's called anyway. And I'm gonna just put this pin through here. And I've got that backwards, I think, because I think if I do it this way, yep. Let me put the pin in the other way. And the reason I'm opting to do that instead of doing a ribbon or string or something like that is because this will be glued down like on a cover. So I thought that was better than putting a ribbon or something like that. So oops, I'm crashing. The only other thing that I would like to do is she has got some white splatters on hers. And I would like to do that, but I forgot to bring my gesso over here. And if you will bear with me for just 1 second, I'm going to put you on pause and go get it, and we'll do that part. Okay, I'm back, and what I got was, I just used Liquitex Basic Acrylic Gesso. So I have that, I have some water, I have a little container so I can thin down my gesso a little bit, and I have this brush that I use for splattering, and it's kind of like a half dried up brush, but it works really well, I think, for putting splatters on stuff, so I keep it for that. And I also grabbed a script stamp because I want to put a little bit of script up in this corner if I can get to it now that I've glued everything down. So I'm using coffee archival ink, and like I said, I just want to get a little bit up in that top corner of the tag if I can. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I need to dye or put some ink on the back of that. And I'm going to, how can I do this? All right, so if I turn that upside down, that's not going to work either. I'm just going to take it off the block and try to do it with my hand. Let's try that again. Can't really see it. This is the Tim Holtz stamp. And I had it on that block, and so I can't tell you what the name of it is, but I think it's called Script or something like that. So there we go. Let's try. I may have to do, I really didn't want to do black if I could help it. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Okay. I'm sure you guys can't see that very well because I'm sure it's blending in, but it's there. All right, so we're going to take this little tray and we're going to put just a little bit of gesso in here. Another little bit of gesso. As I dump half the bottle in there, I didn't expect it to come out that fast. So we're going to have some gesso to put on some papers. That's okay. I've got plenty of scraps that I can use it on. And we're going to water it down so it gets to the consistency that it will splash. Actually, I have a lid for this little thing. I could just put the lid on it and save it. That would work too. I have on a sweatshirt because it is cooler today. And I hate crafting in sleeves because I feel like they're continuously in the way. Alright, so let's do some splattering. And basically you're just, you know, putting it on there and kind of tapping the end of your brush. You can do as much or as little as you like. And it is better once you get your splatters on there to just let your gesso dry on its own and not try to dry it with a heat tool or anything, because it does diminish the color of the white when you do that. And also be sure, as you can see, to cover your area because you'll splatter everything around. I moved my laptop like way over out of the way when I was doing that for that very purpose. All right. And then, like I said, I keep this brush intentionally stiff. And so usually I just clean it with a baby wipe only. And then just let it set because I want it to be stiff because it works better. Alright, so now I will spend the next half hour cleaning gesso off everything because I have splattered everything around me. But there is our completed tag. And Magdalena, thank you very much for your inspiration. And I hope we did it justice. Let's take this white over so you can see it better. Move this completely, oops, out of the way. So there we go. That's what it looks like. And I think it's going to look awesome once it dries. And I think it will be a fabulous journal cover. My thinking is, let's see if I have a book it'll fit on. That one's not quite big enough. Here's a book cover. I'll show you what it looks like. This is actually the back of a book. But see, it's perfect size for about that. And it actually looks really good on that cover. And I do have both sides of that cover. So maybe I will use that. Ooh, I also have this one, which would look fabulous. I've been hoarding this one. I love this cover. And I've been hoarding it. No, not so much. I like this one better. I think. It's good and grungy. It's an old children's reader. Wouldn't that look fabulous? There we go. I'd have to put, you know, another little piece to cover just the last little bit of that wording underneath. But doesn't that look great with those grungy edges? So yeah, I think we found our cover anyway for the journal that we're going to make using this. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. I am looking forward to continuing to make, and especially getting into the holiday season. Christmas is my favorite time of the year, and we'll have lots of Christmas makes. So continue watching, and I hope everybody continues to have a good week, and we'll see you on the weekend. Bye.